Hi friends, welcome back. Today we will be discussing about how you can use Jumpbox or the Bastion host to get connected to the resources placed in the cloud. Here we will be also discussing about making use of the pageant feature of PuTTY, whereas you can protect your private keys provided to you to get connected to your remote devices. So if you have the resources placed in the cloud, this is one of the way to get connected to these devices by using the individual instance public IPs. If you use these methods, what you are doing, you are exposing public IPs of all the instances when you are connecting to them. Also, it becomes a complicated methods to go individually and get connected to your devices. Rather than the recommended methods, in this case may be like this. If you have the devices available here in the clouds, you get connected to them by using another host in between, that is known as the Jumpbox or the Bastion host. So all the securities you can implement between Bastion host and the private instances you are using, and the remote users needs to get connected to the Bastion host first, and from there they can connect to the instances which are placed in your VPC. So in this way, your servers which are with the only private IP addresses, no one can access these web servers directly because it cannot be accessed using the private IPs. You can give only public IP of your Bastion host to the user, whereas they can get connected to this using the Bastion host public IP, and from there they can very well go to the private instances where your web service is running. So like that you can protect your instances by providing them only the private IPs and connecting to those instances using your Bastion host. So to have the demonstration of this today, what I will be showing to you is I will be creating two web servers with the private IPs, and also I will be creating one Jump server with the public IP, and I will connect to my Jump server, and from there further I will connect to my private instances. See here, I have a Jump server which will be having the public IP, and I will be having two web servers which will be having only the private IPs. My users, those who wants to get connected to my web servers, first need to connect to the Jump server by using its public IP, and from there I am going to provide a connectivity to the web server. So let's go and create resources required for our demo of Jumpbox and agent forwarding. Here I am on the AWS console, and we are going to create two web server and one Jumpbox as discussed earlier. I'll go to EC2 service for this and start creating my web server in the Jumpbox here. Let me tell you that before that I have already created the security groups and key pairs required for this. Security groups I have created separately. One security group for my web server and one is for my Jumpbox. If you see here for the web server, I have only one rule available, that is allowing SSH from any source, and the same way same rule I have for my, as of now I have for my Jumpbox also the same rule that allows SSH from any of the source. And also I have already created my key pairs. To keep this video short, these two key pairs, one for Jumpbox and one for my web servers, already available here. So straight away I can go to the instances and start creating my servers and Jumpbox here through instances. You go to instance and start creating. If you see here in the instances, there are no active instances available here. I'll create the required one. Just to create my web server, first I will take AMI, that is Amazon Linux. I'll take the T2 micro machine, then go to the configuration part. I need two web servers, we'll select two, and as these web servers has to be in the private zone, so what I will do here, I will just disable the public IPs because I don't want my web servers to have the public IPs and I don't want to expose them to the outside world. So I will disable here public IPs for that purpose and go to the storage, where I'll take the default one. I'll go to the tags and add a tag here as a name, and I can give it a web server. So web server is the name. Security group as already I have, and I can select the one for the web server already created. So in this only one rule available, allowing SSH traffic, and simply I can just have a review and I can launch these. So the key pair already I have for these already created, and I'll select it for my web server, check for acknowledgement and launch the instances. So in a short while you will see my instances are running. So I have these two web servers just now created, that is in pending state. So let me go and create my Jumpbox also. By the time these will come up, I'll take the same machine and let it be the T2 micro here, same. And as it's going to be a Jumpbox, so I'm going to give the public IP so that the users from outside can access this Jumpbox server. So let it be enabled here. I'm going to have only one, so let it be one. Storage, let it be same. And security group, I will take which I configured for my Jumpbox. So let it be the one which I created already. And now the time to launch this. So these are the things already done. So let me take the key pair, which was, it's already selected, key pair of the Jumpbox, and launch the instances. So if you go down and check the status of your instances, then you can see here the two instances, that is the web server already is running, and the third one, that's my Jumpbox, is coming up. So you can see all the three machines are up now, and these two my web server, and this is the Jumpbox. If I go to Jumpbox, you can see this Jumpbox has the public IP available. You go here and see here. This Jumpbox has the public IP, that is 15.207.111 and 81. And if you try to see the web server, then you will find that there is no public IP. So it means you cannot have the direct access to this web server from the outside. So that's our lab, that is our demo. We will have access to the Jumpbox, and then from there we are going to connect to our web server. As these are not having any public IP, so we cannot directly connect to these web servers. So let's go and check if we can connect to our Jumpbox. So I'm going to take its public IP and try to connect it through my PuTTY. Let me go and get connected to my Jumpbox. I'm going to use that PPK file which already I created, and I have that with me. So I am going to use those PPK file that is available for my Jumpbox, and let me go and try to connect to my Jumpbox as a EC2 user. And I am in my EC2 machine, that is my Jumpbox here. So successfully I have connected to it. It doesn't have anything, so it is not displaying. So as I have connected to my Jumpbox, now the question is how I would be connecting to my web server if I want to manage them. So only things, the way I can get connected to my web server is through my Jumpbox. So if I want to log in to my web server through my Jumpbox, you know that I need to have the PAM file available in my Jumpbox, and I need to use that PAM file along with the SSH command if I want to connect from here. But having the PAM file again to my Jumpbox, it is a security risk, because if someone has compromised my Jumpbox, then he will also come to know about your PAM files, your private keys of web server, and your private keys also can get compromised. So better way is not to store your PAM file here, and instead what we are going to do, we are going to use the agent forwarding feature from the PuTTY, through which directly we can connect to our web server straightway from the PuTTY itself. So let's see how we can do that. So to connect to my web server, which is in a private subnet, what I will do, I will go and use one PuTTY feature, that is PageAnt, and in the PageAnt, I can include the public key of my instance, that is my web server. Here I can add the public key of my web server to the PageAnt of PuTTY, then close it. Then what I will do, I will first log into my JUMP server. My JUMP server public IP is this. Let me go and log into my JUMP server first. And here in the SSH, what you need to do is, in the authentication, you have to use public key of your JUMP server, and you have to enable this feature, that is the option allow agent forwarding. And in this way, first you will be going to your JUMP box, and from here we will be going to get connected to our web server, which is in the private subnet. So I can just take one of the web server IP address. So here you can see my web server IP address is a private one, and it doesn't have any public IP address. So I can take this private IP of my web server and I can log in it from here by saying SSH and EC2 user the rate, and I can make use of that private IP of that. So you can see I am on the 117 now. That is the private IP of my web server, and earlier I was on the JUMP box 234, and from there I have just come to my web server using the SSH. So I don't have the PAM file of my web server stored in my JUMP server, even though I am able to connect to that. That is because of that PAM of the PPK file which I have stored in the PageAnt key list of the PuTTY. So using that, we can protect the public key of our server, which is in the private subnet, and we can come to those devices, to those resources through the JUMP box, and you can avoid exposing your servers which are in the private subnets to the public net, and securely you can connect from the JUMP server using the agent forwarding feature. So friends, this was about how you can use a JUMP server to securely connect to your other resources placed in the VPC in the private subnet, and also you can protect public IPs of your resources which are in the private subnet by using the PageAnt feature of the PuTTY, and securely you can connect to your all the devices. Let me know if you want to add up anything more into this. Thank you for watching. Thanks for your time. Have a nice day.